business coaching, training, and advisory world is booming. And as a result, there are a lot of companies out there offering franchise opportunities for you to become a business advisor, coach, trainer, etc. And so what I thought I'd do in this video is take you through the 6 questions that you should be asking if you're thinking about buying a franchise in the business advisory / coaching space. Now, of course, if you want to get access to my full 15 questions you can ask, you can download my 15 question checklist at maxmyprofit.com.au/franchise questions. And on that download, there's 15 questions that you can take to any franchisor and ask the right questions to make sure that you're covering all of the important factors before buying a franchise. So let's start by covering off 6 of the most important questions that you should be asking. First of all, is the franchise world systemized? Now, the reason you would be thinking about buying a franchise is that you don't have the systems or the background or maybe the confidence even to build your own business in this industry. So it's ideal to find an organization that has already spent many years perfecting the art of working with clients, with also getting clients into through their sales and marketing. You want to make sure the whole process is systemized so you can just step into that franchise and you don't have to worry about how things are going to happen. You may have heard of the term turnkey. That's what you're looking for when you're buying a franchise. You're looking for all the hard work done for you so you can just step in and start earning money. Secondly, do your homework on the company before going and buying a franchise. There are plenty of great franchises out there, but there are some that have struggled a little bit with actually delivering on what it is that they promise. And this is a challenge for so many people. Once you've made that agreement to buy a franchise and you're in a long-term relationship, it's very difficult to get out if you're not getting what you thought you were going to get. Do your research. Today, Google is your friend. Just Google the company you're thinking about buying from, look for the franchisee reviews, and make sure that you do your due diligence and that you've really thoroughly checked through to make sure that they actually deliver what they say they can. As like I said, there's a lot of companies out there popping up all over the place. Some of them have very little experience, some of them have a huge amount of experience, and neither's right or wrong, but you want to make sure they're a good fit for you. So go and do your research, use Google, talk to existing franchisees, spend some time going to maybe one of their events or sitting in on a client meeting, get really comfortable so you know that is the franchise for you. Third question I would advise you to ask is to make sure that you understand all of the costs associated with the franchise. One of the things I hear from franchisees in every industry, not just in the business advisory and coaching space, but in every industry, is sometimes people can be a little bit surprised by the fees that they have to pay, whether it's marketing fees, development fees, it could be ongoing royalty fees, it could even be renewal fees that surprise you, where you're not going to be paying those for 3 to 5, 7 years, but when they happen, it may be a bit of a surprise to you. So be really clear about what are all the costs associated with being a part of that franchise. Now, it's not just franchise costs, there's also costs then for operating a business. For example, are you expected to have a storefront or lease an office, a certain type of vehicle? Does your vehicle have to be a certain age? Do you have to have a certain type of technology? Are there other costs that you must incur, like CRM, so making sure you've got a good database software, email marketing software? Do you have to run your own marketing, doing events, etc.? Are there other things that you have to pay for? Do you have to hire people? So just really think about what are all the costs associated with operating my franchise, and make sure you're very clear about that, because you don't want any surprises popping up once you're in the relationship and you've started running your business. The fourth consideration you've got to think about when buying any sort of a franchise, particularly in the business advisory and coaching space, is are there any limitations on you due to territory? Now, territory is important in some franchise systems because you want to have a boundary where you know that that is your little protected area where you can do your marketing and you can service your clients. In other industries, it's not as important. In the business coaching industry, some franchises have territory, some don't. And you want to make sure that you're very clear about what the limitations are. It's no good getting in and then realizing that you can't market where you want to market, or you can't do business where you want to do business. And every different franchise is going to have very different territories or rules around how they manage that. So make sure you ask that question. All right, the fifth thing I'm going to cover off is a bit of a tricky one in the franchise game, because the franchisor can't give you any sort of indication or expectation of what you're going to earn. However, they can tell you how you earn money, and then it's up to you to work out what you can expect to earn as a franchisee. And I always say to people, be realistic, and that means that it's going to take you a little while, especially if you've never been in this industry or you're brand new to business. It's going to take you a little while for you to learn what you need to do and get your income up. So you need to have some capital behind you to make sure you can carry yourself through that period, but be very realistic with what it is you're going to earn. Be conservative. I'd say whatever you estimate using their calculators or tools or whatever it is they give you to give you an idea of what you're going to earn, then just reduce that by 20% or something like that, so you can be really conservative with your approach. The other thing is, if they've got existing franchisees, don't just talk to the ones that they suggest you talk to. Try and talk to as many as you can through the due diligence process. They should give you a list of all the franchisees. Talk to them, ask them how long they've been there. Don't be afraid to ask them what their average monthly income is, and that's after all their expenses, because what you're interested in is working out how much can I earn out of this thing in profit or as a salary, because in any professional services type franchise, you're typically going to be trading your time for money, and it's you're working for yourself, but it is you doing the work. So make sure you ask those questions. Now, the sixth question I would be asking is to find out about what sort of support you can expect. Every franchisor provides a different level of support for their franchisees, and it's in their best interest for you to be successful. However, some of them are less geared to really working closely with you than others. For example, in our business, we actually allocate you a personal coach to work with you one-on-one to make sure you get results. Not everybody does that. So I suggest you ask that question and say, am I going to get somebody to work with me one-on-one? Am I going to get marketing support? Am I going to get back-end support, system support, billing support? Do I have to run all my events myself, or do you do it for me? Now, in my business, what we do for our franchisees is we provide all that support. We run all the events, we do all the sales, the marketing, the billing, etc. You, of course, can do some of that yourself, but most of the time, we have already systemized it. Why bother reinventing the wheel? But ask your franchise, or whatever franchise you're thinking about buying, exactly what do I get for my money? Typically, it's not spelt out real clearly in franchise agreements, so you need to be really clear at asking the right questions and making sure you're getting clarity about what it is you're getting into, and I think that's the main thing. Now, of course, if you are seriously considering buying a franchise in the business advisory, coaching, training space, then download my free cheat sheet with 15 questions you must ask any potential franchisor before you go and buy a franchise. And to do that, you go to maxmyprofit.com.au/franchise questions. That's maxmyprofit.com.au/franchise questions. You'll probably find that in a link down below or up above or somewhere around here. If not, you can make sure you go to that domain and download that cheat sheet for yourself and go and ask those important questions. Now, good luck with your quest to find the perfect franchise for you. If you are looking to buy a franchise in the business coaching and advisory world, then of course you can go to maxmyprofit.com.au and you'll find all the information there about what we have available. We'd love to chat with you. Until next time, cheerio.